Welcome back to 405 Sports. We got the March Madness bracket here. We got the West, the last one. That's mine. I'm going to start with Kansas versus Howard. Pretty simple here. I mean, Kansas is good. You know, they kind of close out the season a little tough with those 2 losses to Texas, both 16-plus losses. But, you know, they'll thrive. They'll have themselves back. Howard, if they can't, you know, if it's not close in the beginning, it's over. It's cooked.
Yeah, Kansas is not the team to stick around.
Yeah, no. And actually, John Calipari liked this Howard team. He said he'd be shocked if they don't make the tournament. They beat him by like 30, but still, John Calipari did give Howard a, you know, I don't know. They allow a lot of points. Kentucky put 96 on them. Belmont put 96 on them. James Madison put 95 on them. I just don't really see you know. Arkansas, Illinois, the battles of the teams with good forwards is how I see this one. Kind of. I don't know. Arkansas was definitely a letdown. So was Illinois. They were both kind of letdowns this year, especially with Arkansas having...
If you just look at both their rosters.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. Matthew Mayer, Terrence Shannon, Dane Dajai. He's pretty...
Did nothing at Baylor.
Yeah, did nothing at Baylor and was pretty good at Illinois. Sky Clark should be on the Illinois team, but obviously that's a whole other situation.
Now he's getting recruited by Arkansas. So.
Yeah. Arkansas, I mean, Anthony Black, Jordan Walsh, and Nick Smith. I mean, that's a pretty good recruiting class. Ricky Council in the transfer portal. The Mitchell brothers in the transfer portal. But they finished the last 10 games 4-6. So they're kind of like Auburn. They were cold to end. But Nick Smith has been balling. So I have Arkansas taking that one.
They get out in transition, finish around the rim. Yeah. They'll be good. And especially if Illinois is cold from the 3-point line like they were in the Big Ten tournament. Yeah, and especially, we talked about this in the bracket we built. If they play like they played against Penn State, then... Yeah, they just sprayed and prayed the whole game. Yeah. Kind of look like us. Yeah. I'm going to get straight into this one. I don't like St. Mary's. I really don't. And VCU is an older team. And St. Mary's struggles versus teams that are forward heavy. And that's exactly how VCU is. Plain and simple, I have VCU in this one. And I don't have much to say to you. VCU's more of like the grind it out win. I don't think they'll blow anybody out, but they'll make your offense uncomfortable and hit big shots when it matters. If the guards Mahaney and Johnson for St. Mary's aren't on like they weren't in the championship game against Gonzaga, then they could get stretched out. But they weren't bad in the tournament last year, so we'll see. Yeah. But I know that's a pretty high upset pick.
UConn, Iona. We as Oklahoma State fans experienced UConn in like the prime of their season, and their bigs killed us. I mean, plain and simple.
It was not fun to watch that game.
No, it wasn't.
I did not enjoy watching that.
It wasn't. We lost by 10, but it was really.
But it was 15. It was their
20.
closest game all year up to that point.
Yeah.
They were, like Sam said, they were on fire.
That was their prime.
The best they played.
Yeah, that was
a couple. I think it was a week later or a week before. They beat Alabama a week prior to playing us.
Yeah, I mean they were hot
by 15.
Plus. Yeah, and they beat Alabama pretty.
Yeah, no, they were in their prime. All I know is Iona's tallest dude is 6'9", and everybody else is guard. It's UConn all the way. Arizona State, Nevada. I think Arizona State will win that one. Personally, I think they're hotter right now than Nevada. I think both of these teams are fraudulent in this tournament. Shouldn't be here. I think Rutgers should have been in over them.
Yeah.
And even I hate to say Oklahoma State, but I really do think Oklahoma State should have been over them. But
they're two different styles for sure.
Yeah.
Nevada's more on their offense. Arizona State's more on their defense.
Defense, exactly.
I'd say defense wins championship.
Yeah.
Arizona State is also pretty well coached with Bobby Hurley.
Yeah,
they've got better wins and everything.
Yeah, but TCU. I mean, if Mike Miles is going, Mike Miles is tough to stop. You saw it last year where they could have beat Arizona. I mean, that was pretty. Oh, they should have won that game, to be honest. Eddie Lampkin's gone though, but Emmanuel Miller is a lot better this year. Chuck O'Bannon, very good defensively. Damian Baugh has stepped up this year. I think TCU is a sleeper in this side of the bracket. And then for Gonzaga versus Grand Canyon, Grand Canyon's biggest dude that gets PT is 6'7". And Drew Timme and Mark Few are not bad in the first round. They are very good in the first round. Mark Few hasn't lost in the first round since, I think it was 2009. And they are very fraudulent in the second round, not in the first. So I hate this side of the bracket for myself because I didn't take that many upsets in this besides the VCU one. So Northwestern, Boise State. Now Northwestern's led by Boo, obviously. Very good. They beat Purdue. They have some good wins under their belt, I guess you'd say. And so does Boise State. I don't like this matchup. I don't care for it. I don't think I think we said not very many people are going to watch this game.
Poor.
It is piss poor.
It's piss poor.
It's piss poor.
Northwestern's style is to hit jump shots, kind of like Penn State's was. And so if their shots aren't falling, it's going to be tough. Boise State runs millions of pick and rolls throughout the game, and they're top 100 in it. And Northwestern cannot defend it. So if Boise State's hitting those pick and rolls, then it's not going to be fun to watch.
Boise State was Northwestern was identical to Oklahoma State, where they went on this 5-game stretch, which their stretch was probably better because they beat Purdue and Indiana, which are probably better wins than our 5-game stretch. And then they closed the year 1-4. So they kind of closed out the year bad.
Probably should have been 17.
I took Northwestern, but that's honestly that'll be a pick 'em for the betting lines. I wouldn't be surprised if they're both minus, so that way, there's a free pick in there, I guess. Now for this last one is UCLA versus
Northwestern's favored by half a point.
Okay, I can see that. UCLA versus UNC Asheville. Now I was looking at UNC Asheville, and Drew Pember, 21 a game, but has had some 40 balls, averaged 30 points in their conference tournament.
I saw a stat. He leads the nation in free throws attempted.
Oh, he sure does. He shot 24 the other day.
He gets he draws fouls.
He draws fouls he shot 314 free throws this year.
It's like having James Harden, pretty much.
Yeah. He had some 40 balls this year. He's very good. So if he's not on, it's over. I mean, it's that's literally it. I mean, plain and simple. I will say, if Jalen Clark plays this game, that line would be a lot better for UCLA. But without him, I think it's a little bit more scary. But this team is experienced with Campbell and Jimmy Jazzquez. And Amari Bailey has been hooping ever since losing Jalen Clark. So, I mean, he's actually looked like a 5-star at the end of this season and not, bad. You got anything?
UCLA should win this game, but I promise you, when the brackets came out, they were not happy that this was the 15 seed they were playing.
Yeah.
Probably should have been a 14.
Probably.
Maybe even a 13.
They were. Possible. I would guess the metrics probably don't say UNC Asheville's very good, but if you watch them play, they can light anybody up.
They're impressive.
I didn't pay attention to what your guys' sleeper was.
I feel like it's almost they're almost similar to like John Morant with Murray State.
I didn't pay attention to your guys. I mean, I did, but I didn't pay attention to what seed they were. But my sleeper's probably TCU, but that's just because I think they're good defensively. When they have Mike Miles too, but Eddie Lampkin also being gone is tough to judge. But
they really have an issue like an inside presence.
Yeah, that'll be
Cork and Coles, but they're not great defensively.
Yeah, no, they're not. But I hated playing Emmanuel Miller and defensively. He's very good, and so is Chuck. So.
Oh God, O'Bannon.
Anyways, that was
knocks it down though.
my side of the region. Probably Kansas coming out, but I digress. Thank you for watching.